you're watching Charterhouse TV, and today a video that a lot of you have been asking for, a protein skimmer showdown video. Now, to give you guys some context, some of our most popular videos so far have been our showdown videos, which are basically videos comparing some popular products within a certain range. Now, we've already made a video comparing some of the man-made artificial real rock that we sell, which is designed for marine systems, and also a video comparing some of our most popular algae reactors. Now, on those videos, in the comments, a lot of you guys have been asking for a video that compares protein skimmers, and same with phone calls and emails into our customer service team. Now, it's understandable why you guys would want to research this as much as possible. Certainly in recent years, protein skimmers have become one of the most popular products to purchase with an aquarium build, and they will drag all of the detritus and dirt and protein out of your water column. So, like I said, understandably why people want to make the right choice. The problem is that it can be a bit of a minefield. There's so many protein skimmers on the market, some at a low price point, some at a really high price point. So we had to think long and hard about exactly how we could deliver a comparison to you guys.
So the way we thought we would do it for you is we're going to show you 4 of our best-selling skimmers from 4 different manufacturers. So we're going to have a Red Sea skimmer from DELTEC, from NYOS, and also the new MAXSPECT skimmer. So we're going to show you basically out of the box what different features the skimmers have and what's going to make them maybe perfect for you. So we're going to go through each of them individually, show you the key points of the skimmer, and as well as that we'll go through the different ranges that they produce, and also a rough guide to the price. So we're not telling you which one to buy, but hopefully we're going to give you all of the information to make sure you get your perfect skimmer.
So here we have the first skimmer, or range of skimmers I should say, that we're going to look at, and these are the Red Sea REEFER skimmers. Now, recently onto the market, but since they've been released, they've quickly become one of our best-selling skimmers, and they have got some really cool features. Now, this is the 600 model, and that's the middle size, the 600 relating to rough literage of aquarium that you're looking for this to be suitable to skim if you're running a proper reef system. There is a 300 model, and there's also a 900 model.
So let's have a little look at the features. We'll start at the top and work our way down. Makes it a lot easier. So on these, as you'll notice, the collection cup is really nice and big, so it's going to cut down the amount of times that you have to change it, clean it out. Also, other features on there, you've got the squeegee built in for cleaning the neck, so a neck cleaner built in, which doesn't really come as standard on a lot of skimmers. And also you've got the window there, the foam window. So again, that squeegee, you'll clean that, and it will give you an idea of where your foam is. It makes adjusting really easier. Really easy. Also on this, you've got a really nice long drain. So they've given you enough of a drain pipe so you can drain the collection cup into a container. It makes it really easy with a nice valve on the end as well, so you can turn it off. Another thing that people notice, I definitely noticed when I first see these skimmers, is the size of the silencer. As skimmers go, they're all going to make noise because of the way they work, but Red Sea have made the silencer as big as possible to hopefully cut down on that noise. Yeah, and you know, that's not the only supersized thing. The supersized body as well is something that stands out. Now, Red Sea have put a lot of research and emphasis within their marketing on having the perfect air to water ratio and mix in the body of the skimmer. So again, that will give you as the most efficient skimmer as possible. And they've got inside of that a cutout bubble plate, as you'll see on a lot of skimmers. And that just helps to give you as fine a bubble within the body of the skimmer to work as best you can, to make sure it works as best it can. Now, focusing on, as Steve said, the silence as well. You've got from the silencer the Venturi air tube that also connects to the inlet of the skimmer, and that's got a rubber bushing on it, again, to reduce vibration. There's rubber feet, and there's also a CHTV pump. Now, Red Sea have used CHTV pumps for a while now on a lot of their aquariums, and they are good, reliable, and quiet pumps. So again, the focus is on making sure this skimmer is not only efficient, but also quiet to run. And then you've got the final bit on the body, the water adjustment here. It's really easy to adjust. It's really reactive. We're actually running one of these in the shop, and it's quite easy to adjust.
and that just turns a gate on the base of the skimmer to allow more or less water to escape the body.
Another real nice feature that Red Sea put onto this skimmer, or researched and decided to go ahead with, is that you can position the body at three different sides. So the venturi and the pump, you can move the skimmer body around so it will fit into your skimmer. Again, that fit into your sump. Sorry. So again, that makes it a good option.
Yeah, that's not something that we really see on many other skimmers. So something that, again, Red Sea, renowned for their research and their R&D, have really put thought into that. So that might be something that's a deal breaker for you. Now, we've already done a bit more of a detailed video featuring the Red Sea REEFER skimmers when they were released. So if you want even more information, then we'll put a link up in the description, a link up on the screen now. But really, the other thing to focus on is the price point. Red Sea have produced a 300 model that retails at about £250, which value for money is pretty damn good. I think the larger model is up to about £400.
Yeah.
So yeah, if budget's something that you need to bear in mind, and for most of us it is, then Red Sea could be one worth thinking about. But that's the Red Sea REEFER skimmers. Let's take a look at the next one.
So here we have the DELTEC 1000i. DELTEC is a German company that's been producing skimmers and other reefing equipment for 30 years. So they've got a real long history in the reef keeping hobby. Like I said, this one is the 1000i, and it's an internal skimmer. Due to the fact the others are all internal skimmers, we thought we'd look at that side of the DELTEC range. They do make a massive range. So like I said, this is the 600i, the 1000i, but they make skimmers from the 400i all the way up to the 12,000. So you can imagine that's a real huge range.
Yeah, and just to complicate that internal section even more, each of those sizes up to about the 2,000 or 3,000 model comes in two versions. So this is the I, which means it comes with a DC pump, which means the pump comes with one of these little controllers and is controllable itself. So the amount of water that it's pushing can be adjusted, which gives you another level of adjustment, as well as what the normal adjustment you get on the side of the body here, which we'll look at in a little more detail just in a moment. The other version, the IX models, they come with an AC pump, and that just means the pump is on and running at a certain litrage per hour. Some people prefer that simplicity, some people want the DC version. So DELTEC have allowed you the option to choose whichever you prefer. Now we'll go from the top to the bottom like we did with the REEFER skimmer. And the first thing you're going to notice, even when you just get your hands on it, is that build quality. There's a reason that DELTEC have been around for so long. It feels solid, it feels like it's going to get the job done. There's no bells and whistles, it's just going to work, and you can kind of feel that. Nice big collection cup. This is the standard collection cup. They do produce something called a CSM that you can buy with the skimmer, which is a manual cleaning head. Again, like the skimmer that we've looked at, it's got a squeegee on the inside, which ensures that the internal cone is as clean as possible and make sure that it's running as efficiently as possible. You've also got the drainage pipe with a tap on the end, makes cleaning nice and easy. As much as you don't really use it that much on this skimmer, because one of the features of the DC pump is it's got a feed mode. Means you can hit that if you're doing maintenance or you're feeding, which means your skimmer doesn't go mad. But if you do want to drain it, you can use that, which is a feature on most skimmers nowadays. And then the cup is a bayonet fitting, so nice and secure. You just twist that and lift it off, which means that that's not going anywhere by accident.
And as far as the controls go on this this skimmer body, you've got a dial here, so you just turn it, it's a screw in and out, and it basically lets more or less water out of the body. So it controls the height of the water in your skimmer body, which means you can get a wetter or a drier skim. On the front of the body there as well, on this part here, you'll see that's a water level indicator. So that's a nice feature that a lot of skimmers have. So it just gives you an idea of whereabouts your water level is at any time when you're having a look at it. And in between the two, as on all skimmers, you've got this silencer. Again, it just draws air in and tries to keep it as quiet as possible. That works its way round to the venturi and to the pump, which is driven by a needle wheel impeller.
Yeah, so one of the other things that really stand out with this range of skimmers is their size.
Yeah.
So really small footprint. They've thought about how they can minimize that. They even, if you don't want this water level tube, they even give you a blanking plug just to make sure that it's as small as possible. But to give you an idea, this is the 1000i, so roughly designed for use on around 1,000 litre systems. So that's a small footprint and small skimmer for that size of aquarium. So if space is something that you're concerned about and you haven't got a very large sump, maybe these could be the option for you. Because of that, it don't really have this big wide base with a conical shape. They've got a standard shape and the neck doesn't thin out until up here. And the price of this 1000 is about £380, £390-ish. So actually pretty good value for money as well, because even that's a DC skimmer, a little bit more if you want the manual cleaning head. So pretty good in terms of budget and in terms of pricing, and really great in terms of build quality and footprint. So there you have it, that's the DELTEC internal range of skimmers.
So here we have the NYOS Quantum 160. NYOS is a relatively new German company, but over the last few years they've become one of the highest respected manufacturers of skimmers, and definitely one of our best sellers. As I said, this is the Quantum 160, but they also make a 120, which is a little bit smaller, a 220, and they go up all the way up to a beast of the Quantum 300.
Yeah, so there's basically a skimmer for every tank out there. Now, the first thing you're going to notice, and the first thing that most people say, is how the skimmer looks. It looks really cool. They put a lot of effort into how it looks. So if you're one of those guys that wants to show off, wants their equipment to look perfect, have no doors on your cabinet, things like that, this is a serious contender. But it doesn't stop there. It's so well built, it's so refined. There's a lot of effort gone into the precision engineering of this, and that's why it's become one of the best sellers. Even when you're feeling the dials, like this adjustment screw here, it just feels so neat and tidy, and you can tell that you can really get this skimmer set up and performing exactly how you want it.
Yeah, as Ryan was saying, how to use the skimmer, the adjustment on here. You've got a main adjustment here on the body, which adjusts the level of the water within the body, the skimmer chamber. But also, you don't see it very often, but on the silencer, you've also got an air adjuster as well, so you can adjust the amount of air getting into the body as well, which is a really nice touch, and it means that you can really dial in that skim to how you really want it. The skimmer cup itself, as Ryan said, the build quality is, it's really well built. You have something on there that doesn't, it's not on a lot of skimmers, but it's got like a bubble breaker, so as the bubble, the foam's coming up the neck, that's just making sure that the bubbles go over, break, and you get a really good skim in your cup. You've got the drain tube, the same as on all of the other skimmers, with a little bung on the end there, so you can close that off if you're not using it. And from the silencer, the tube comes all the way down again to the pump. You've got a venturi there, and the pump is driven again by a needle wheel impeller. And a feature that I really like on this skimmer is the acrylic cover for the impeller. So you see the foam whirling around like a turbo, and it just adds to the look of it. I
guess that's also really helpful for maintenance. So just checking that it's still working properly, there's no blockages, there's no damage and stuff like that. But again, it just lends itself to how this skimmer looks. Another thing that you can kind of highlights that quality are the bubble plate. So you've got bubble plate at the bottom, standard bubble plate, and that just breaks up any of the bubbles and makes sure that they're as fine as possible. But just to make sure that they really do get maximum contact time, they've got a spiral shaped second bubble plate, and that breaks up the bubbles even more and ensures that it's working as the best it can. That bubble plate is actually held in place by a titanium screw, and all of the screws on there, wherever there's a metal part, they're titanium, so they're going to last you longer than your system is. So you've got screw holding the bubble plate down, screws holding the pump in place, and screws holding the body of the skimmer to the base plate. Now, there are some rubber feet which focus on noise reduction, but you might be thinking, well, some of the other skimmers had lots of features that kept the noise down. And I think NYOS's focus has been on how well engineered and how precision engineered this is to make sure that there's no noise coming from it that you can avoid anyway. And they don't do that via using bubble breakers and things like that. Noise dampeners and things like that. They use precision engineering to achieve that. Now, this, as we said, is the 160 model. This is about £370, so it's a bit more expensive than some we've looked at, but not loads more. And for what you're getting, it's really great value for money. And as I said, if you're one of those guys or girls that want to really show off the skimmer and want it to look really great, then NYOS should be a serious contender. Now, the last skimmer that we're going to look at is the pretty much brand new MAXSPECT AERAQUA skimmer. Now, I know that we said we're going to show you some of our best sellers and how can a relatively new product be a bestseller, but the week or so that we've had it, we've sold a lot of skimmers, and also we've had a lot of interest, and it's pretty radical design, so it felt unfair not to include it in the comparison in the showdown really. If you're interested in a skimmer of this size that's again internal to sit in your sump, it would be silly not to look at one of the newest models out there.
Yeah, and as we said, the thing that's really drawing us to it as well, it's completely different to anything else that we've seen and really designed differently to any other skimmer. Yeah. So we'll start again as we have before, from the top downwards. Yeah. The first thing you're going to notice at the front on the top there is it's got a float valve built into the collection cup. So if you forget to change, you empty the cup, or you have any issues with over skim, it's going to automatically shut off your pump. So that's a really nice feature.
Yeah, it'll just stop it flooding if anything happens. Yeah,
I mean, that's a really nice feature to have, just to shut it off so you don't get it back into your aquarium basically. And from there, again, you've got a really nice large collection cup. With this collection cup, it's again different with the way the collection cup will be removed. You've got two handles that you just pull to one side and it just lifts off. Really nice, well built, and you lock it back down again with those pushing them across. Again, a feature that we think is really clever on this, clever design, is the drain. So the drain is tucked in underneath the collection cup. Yeah. You can just pull that out. It's got a little bung in the end. Take that out, drain it out. Yeah. Again,
something really that has frustrated me with skimmers that I've had in the past in multiple price ranges is you've got this drain hose, which is great for maintenance, but it just sits in the water, or you've got to prop it up somewhere, and it can get slimy if it gets in the water and difficult to use. So the fact that they've thought of that and that other people haven't before is pretty impressive. It's also got this little handle on the front of the cup, so once the cup is off, you can just carry that to where you need it to go. It's pretty impressive. The other impressive features come where the body's concerned, and I think the first thing you're going to notice is that it's very contained. There's no like some of the other units we've seen, bar here with a control adjustment. There's no cables or hoses to make it look messy, and that means you've got quite a small footprint for how big the skimmer is. They've been able to do that. The first one is this very innovative gate on the front. You'll see that the adjustment valve, or the gate valve, is built into the actual body. So just turn this dial here, that lifts or closes the gate, and that allows more or less water to leave the skimmer body.
So it's one of my favourite features of this skimmer.
I mean, we haven't run this skimmer yet, but we're guessing that that's going to give you a pretty fine level of adjustment as well. So we're pretty excited to get that, to get one up and running and see how that performs. The other is the hoses, the air intake hoses. They're built into the back of the unit here. So again, you haven't got those hoses all hanging around your skimmer. The silencer's on the top, there's two air hoses. They actually run into the base plate of the skimmer and then up into the pump inlets, which is where the air will be injected. So again, super neat and tidy. You've then got on the base these little quick releases. So to actually take the skimmer body off of the base plate, you just pull these little quick releases, and that allows you to lift the whole body off. You'd first have to remove these intakes from the pump, but that allows you really quick access to take the skimmer apart. So again, a really neat feature. But I guess the party piece is the pump.
It is, yeah. I mean, again, you'll notice when you look at it, it looks completely different to anything else in any other skimmer. Yeah. They actually use the MAXSPECT Duo return pump that we do sell as a return pump. It's a really different pump in the respect that it has two outlets as well, two inlets, so you can control your return to your aquarium and external, like a chiller, things like that. But within this skimmer, they've used it in a completely different way to be able to maximise the airflow.
And when we knew MAXSPECT were producing a skimmer, I'm not sure that anyone thought that there would be this pump within it. No. So the way they've kind of modified it is it now comes with needle wheels. So like some of the other skimmers that we've looked at, it's got a needle wheel impeller, but it's designed slightly differently. You've got a central motor block column, And from that, there's 2 impellers that are on one spindle, and they're needle wheel impellers. But then on what would normally be the pump covers of a standard pump, you've got another ring of impellers. And that means that when they're together, you've got this 2-layered approach to smashing up the air that comes in via that very neat air system and then gets pushed into the body. That means that you get really, really nice, fine bubbles.
Yeah, I mean, another feature, again, talking about the pump and that area that we really like on this, is that you've got some adjustments on the side of the pump as well, which means that you can, if you wanted to, you can limit the amount of water or the rate the water goes into the body, or completely shut it off on one side. Yeah. So that means that the water within the chamber is getting double skimmed, basically, so you can really take out as much skim as possible from the water.
So if you've got one of these shut off, which means that that's recirculating, you've got one open drawing in from the sump column itself, you've got the needle wheel being drawn in through this quite extensive air system, and then you've also got this kind of innovative bubble plate on the top. It's almost like a bubble bowl, and that's got some little reverse cone diffusers on the top as well. So all of those features, in theory, again, we haven't run one, but should provide a pretty decent air to water ratio, which is, you know, pretty impressive. The other thing that you've got with this pump is it's controllable. So we've looked at some other skimmers with DC pumps, and that's basically what this is, and it comes with a DC controller. But what it does allow is the addition of the MAXSPECT IV6 controller. So if you wanted to add that onto this skimmer, it means that you've suddenly got a wirelessly controllable skimmer as well, which we haven't really seen. So especially if you've got the power heads or the lights from MAXSPECT, it's nice to have them be able to control them all on the same control platform. Now, this skimmer is a small footprint, but it does a lot of water. So this will skim aquariums up to about 1,700 litres. But that does come at a cost. The design and the great build quality does come at a cost. It's £599, which is more than some of the other skimmers. But as we said, if you're in the market for a skimmer, or you've got a big system and you like to future-proof yourself with the technology, the latest technology, then this is definitely not one to discount. So there you have it, that's the MAXSPECT AERAQUA skimmer. So there you have it, our protein skimmer showdown. We hope that that helped highlight some of the key features. But don't forget, just because these are the brands that we've looked at today, they're not the only skimmers that we sell. If you've got a question on a different type of skimmer, a different brand of skimmer, a skimmer that's maybe at a different price point, you know where we are. Don't forget you can get in touch via the telephone, via email, via any of our social media platforms, or using the comments down below. Just drop us a line and we'll be happy to help you out.
Well, as Ryan said, we hope this video has helped you make a decision what skimmer to go for. After doing the video and seeing what I've seen, I think I'd go for the MAXSPECT.
Right.
How about you?
Put on the spot like that, I think I would probably go for the Quantum skimmer. It's just super cool looking and it's really well built, and I'm just a bit of a sucker for that kind of thing, so Quantum for me. And as usual, thanks for watching the Charterhouse TV video and subscribing to the channel, and give us a thumbs up. Yeah, and don't forget, if you are subscribed, make sure you click on the bell icon. That will notify you when new videos come out, and we've got some super cool videos coming soon. So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on them. See ya.